Hey, welcome back. I want to spend a few minutes to go over some questions I want you to discuss with yourself or yourselves with somebody. And if we don't discuss them today, we're going to discuss these next time. So I want you to think about these questions, and these pertain to your learning strategies, particularly when it comes to English. So this is in the book, the course booklet. I put a PDF link, free PDF. There's a link to it in an announcement on the LMS I want you to look at. It's on page 14 and 15. It's called Language Learning Strategies. And I want you to think about the way you've been learning English as a second language, your learning strategies, and maybe other languages too. So in general, when it comes to English and maybe other languages that you're learning, what are your goals? Why are you learning it? Is it because you have to? Is it because you want to? Many of you are English majors, so I assume you have some goals and you have maybe some reason for choosing English as a major, or at least taking this class. So what are your goals for the language in general, and specifically when it comes to areas like reading and writing, listening and speaking? What are your goals? Why are you doing English? Are you doing other languages? Have you learned other languages? Are you learning other languages now? And also, why are you learning those languages too? And how good are you at those languages? In general, I want you to then discuss some more specific kinds of reasons. Social reasons. Are you interested in becoming a part of the culture, be it international culture or specifically North American or British or European culture? Is it for business or career interests? And again, as English majors, you might have some kind of doubt or worry or skepticism about what kind of job you can get with a humanities degree. But a humanities degree in something like English, even if you're doing literature, it can be valuable for a career or job if you plan carefully and you have good answers for the job interview. Because with your language skills, you can get jobs with international companies and businesses. You're the sort of person that they would want, actually, especially if they are doing business in other countries. You're the sort of person that they would want if you can learn how to kind of market yourself when it comes to applying for jobs. So do you have business, career, job interests, working overseas or working for an international company here or in another country? Is it for study or research purposes? Is it just useful for studying and learning something that you want to do? You like English literature, you like linguistics, maybe you like business. And English is a useful tool for learning about business in the business world, or politics, or some other area that you're interested in. Are you doing for that? Studies, do you want to go to graduate school, like a master's, saksa, or PhD, doctoral degree, paksa, especially maybe in some other country? Is that your interest? What do you want to study and why? Then think about specific skill areas. Are you interested in improving your speaking and conversation skills? And thus, are you interested in more like learning formal English, like academic or business English, kind of more semi-formal, partly formal, or maybe for social reasons and just like having friendships in another country, maybe more colloquial English. Colloquial refers to informal, conversational, spoken English. So the co means with. This is from Latin. You see it in other words with co. And the loqua in Latin is one of several Latin verbs meaning to speak. As an eloquent, a person who speaks well is eloquent. And so this is the style of language you use for speaking with friends and family. Very informal English, so various ranges from informal to even slang. So are you interested in colloquial English or more formal English or everything? Are you interested in improving your writing skills? Maybe personal or business or academic writing. your study skills, research skills, maybe presentation skills, again, maybe for working at a company where you have to present, or engage in business meetings and conduct meetings and give presentations. Are you interested in a job that requires really good English skills, or just kind of okay, medium level English skills? Maybe you don't have to write or speak a lot, but you have to be able to read and understand English. Working, studying in another country, living in another country, traveling. Maybe you just want to travel the world, and that's cool. English is good for that. So pause and think for a while. What are specific reasons for learning English, and what are specific areas of English that you want to improve or really develop? So pause the video and maybe discuss with each other. If you have some friends you can talk with about this. Next class we'll do Zoom breakout rooms, and you'll talk about this. Okay, next I want you to think about strategies. Pause for a minute, think about what methods are you using to improve your English or another language. What methods have worked and what methods have not worked, and why? What methods are and what strategies have you been using for language learning? Do you rely on rote learning? Rote is kind of like mindless mechanical learning. And some education environments kind of teach you to do this and push you to do this, very sadly. So you memorize a lot of stuff, especially for tests. Memorizing words, vocabulary, grammar rules. Is that effective? Does it work? And also kind of cramming. Cramming is like you push or stuff something into it. So like you have an exam and you try to cram, you have a long 2-hour study session, and you try to memorize and cram or push everything into your brain. Does that work, especially after the test? Does rote learning work? Why or why not? What do you think? Can you really learn a language that way? How about self-awareness? For example, through setting goals and kind of thinking, am I making my goals? Setting specific goals and then thinking about, did I meet my goals? Are my goals really realistic? Or maybe it's just kind of monitoring how well am I improving, or how am I feeling about this? So some kind of self-awareness. Maybe social strategies, trying to interact with native speakers. If you don't have native speakers, do you talk to yourself in the language? Think to yourself in the language? By the way, in college I did German, and it's kind of hard to engage in conversation with native speakers. I don't know many native speakers here. Sometimes I watch or read news in German, or I think to myself in German. And if a machine isn't working, I shout at it in German. I get angry and I shout at it in German, and it seems to work. I guess the machines are afraid of, oh, he's speaking in German, he's really angry, he's really serious. Some other social strategies. Immersing yourself into the language. Do you kind of immerse yourself, expose yourself to a lot of reading or media materials? What kind of stuff works for you? What doesn't work very well for you here? Traveling. Traveling is good. Oh, it's a little expensive, but boy, it's fun. Talking to yourself in the language. So pause for a few minutes and think about this. Talk to yourself, talk to someone else about your strategies. All right, next is motivation, and this is a bit of a hard one. We're going to get psychological here. And if you took another class from me, you might have covered some of this, and it's always helpful to think about it again every semester. What's your motivation for doing English? Do you feel like English is something you want to do? Do you have a choice? Are you doing it because you want to? Because you like to? Because you have some interest in it, desire? It could be personal interest, social interest, intellectual interest. Why are you doing it? Is it because you're being pushed to do it? Just all this pressure, social pressure, years and years, educational pressure, you have to do it. I feel like I have to do it. So do you feel like you're doing it because you want to, you like it, you're interested in it, or do you feel like it's something I have to do? Do you feel like a lot of pressure and stress about it? Or maybe do you think like, it's just a useful tool. I'm really interested in learning about business, and English is just a useful tool. And so your feelings are kind of neutral. You like, I don't like it, but I don't hate it. I don't mind it. It's a useful tool for, I like to learn about business, or I like to learn about law, or economics, or science. And that's why English is useful to me. It's just a useful tool for learning something else that I really like. Is it social pressure, exam pressure? Do you feel stressed, tired, exhausted when you think about your English ability and your performance? Do you feel like you're getting better? Do you feel like you're improving? You've kind of mastered it, or at least you feel better? You feel like you're getting better and you feel good about yourself because you're getting better in English? Is it a sense of pressure? Is it because you don't want to look dumb? You don't want your friends, your classmates to think you're dumb or a weak student. You don't want your family to think you're not a good student. You don't want your family to be disappointed in you. You're afraid of what other people think. It may be to an extreme you're a perfectionist. Wanbakjui is perfectionism. Are you a perfectionist when it comes to school, or when it comes to learning specific things like English or English grammar? Is that a good thing? Is being a perfectionist healthy? Does it help you, or does it hinder you? And what motivates a perfectionist to succeed? Is it healthy? I want you to think about that, and we might have discussed some of this in another class of mine in the past. Some of you might have had me before, more likely for the last spring course, the conversation class, kind of the low intermediate conversation. So hopefully we did not talk about this. But if you took a writing class from me last spring, we might have talked about this a bit. Nonetheless, I want you to reflect on this and be ready to discuss and share with your classmates in class, Zoom class, next time in our Zoom breakout rooms. So I will also, by the way, post a link to a Google form I want you to fill out. That's due kind of middle of the second week after all the course add drop. This is kind of the period where students are adding new courses and changing their schedules. So after that's done, maybe in the middle of next week, this will be due, so you have some time. But there's a Google form. I posted it on the website. I will post the link maybe sometime middle of this week, due middle of next week. It's just a simple Google form to fill out about some information about yourself. Easy 10 points. So think about these questions, and see you next time. Goodbye.